Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir David, and today I'd like to play a game called GWTMA. GWTTMA. What is your name? My name is not Angel this time, although that's very pretty. I am Espoir. It means hope in French. More often than not, you spend some time getting to know someone before jumping into a relationship. You're inclined to agree truthfully, but this time you had a gut feeling and you went for it. But it's been a few months, and you're starting to wonder if your gut was wrong. I don't know, my gut usually is right. Is that a cicada? What a beautiful cicada. Cicadas are pretty. Except for when they land in your hair. Oh, the cursor's a little cicada. I just like saying cicada. It was a quiet day, this late spring afternoon. Minus the cicadas, that is. No one is really around at this hour, which means you have some privacy. Privacy? You mean that for both you and the person sitting next to you. Cute! Looking next to you, you get a good look at him. He looks tired, cigarette hanging out of his mouth. As much as you wished he wouldn't smoke, he had actually been cutting back a lot lately per your request. You look like you have a lot on your mind, Sloan. He takes a long drag of his cigarette before tapping it on the edge of his shoe and smiling at me. I do, actually. It's always better when you're here, though, Espoir. That comment makes you smile. Sloan always seems calmer when he's around you. It made you feel important to him. He speaks as if he knew what was going through your mind. You are important to me, Espoir. We wouldn't be dating if you weren't. I was just about to say how nice and wholesome this was. Why did the music suddenly stop? You laugh a little bit. He was always so strangely good at that. You genuinely couldn't tell if he could read your mind sometimes. Best not to think on it too much. So, what did you want to hang out for today? Or is this just another day to us alone? You raise your eyebrow at him, questioning why he wanted to talk to you today. He almost seemed desperate. So we're already in a relationship? A relationship that we both agreed to? Gee, that's a first! Not that you really paid much mind to it. You genuinely thought his desperation to be by you was charming. His gaze had been off you for a while, but when his eyes turn to look at you, they feel odd today. It's almost as if the guy you've been dating for a few months isn't in front of you anymore. I never told you about something, you know? Something I think you already know, truthfully. He laughs and flicks his now burnt-out cigarette away from the two of you. Hey, Sloan, go pick that up. You were getting ready to chastise him before he was inches away from your face, and you suddenly feel cornered. Did you know, before you came into my view, I was kind of seeing someone else? What? Huh? You said you've never dated before in your life. You were taken aback by that confession. Why is he telling you this now? Are they back in his life? Are you cheating on me, Sloan? Is he breaking up with you? I'm not even wearing my pearls to clutch. He cracked his neck before speaking some more. Correct. I didn't. It was more something else, I would say. The way he was speaking was concerning you. Sloan sometimes spoke cryptically. Cryptic. The way he was speaking was concerning you. Sloan sometimes spoke cryptically, but it was never to this extent before. You tried to say something, but the words just were not coming out. Interject with, explain yourself, or sit in silence while trying to listen to what he says. Yeah, sit in silence. But also take care of that cigarette butt that you just flicked. You know, only you can prevent forest fires. After a moment, he scratches at the back of his head and pulls out another cigarette from his pocket. I used to talk to God before I met you. Was he religious? You don't remember that coming up in conversation at all before. He's never seemed the type. Every day I was told what to do, where to go. But then, one day... His eyes widened as he stared at me with a look I've never seen before. I met you. You blink at him in confusion and try laughing it off. What? Are you trying to creep me out or play some kind of trick on me? He places the cigarette in his mouth finally before lighting it almost too quickly. The air suddenly feels heavy, and suddenly you get smoke blown in your face by him. I don't appreciate that. Hey, what the heck? Secondhand smoke, buddy. You bat away the smoke, and as it clears, Sloane's face is an inch away from yours again. Ah! Buddy! My tummy did the thing out of terror. His eyes are wild, and whoever this is, it's not the person you've spent the last few months with. Sloane? You knew that he had pushed boundaries before, but this is the second time he's just gotten in your face so abruptly and rudely. Listen, I got a knee right here with your stomach's name on it. It almost feels callous, intentional. Espoir, I don't think you really understand what I'm saying. His face smiles, no, distorts. God used to talk to me and tell me what to do. Then, one day, you show up. And after you showed up, God won't talk to me anymore. Ah! What? Wait, what? Are you mad? Are you breaking up with me because you would rather talk to God than your girlfriend? I don't like that it ended so abruptly. I know this is a demo, but I'm scared now. I'm unsettled. This is probably the most that I've been unsettled from the least that has happened. Oh, I think I know what the title is. God won't talk to me anymore. What does this imply? I am not prepared for these shenanigans. Alright, what if I try to interject? What if I tell him to explain himself? Explain, please! I'm trying, but you won't give me a chance. He huffs and finally pulls back from your face. Usually this move would bother you, but you feel relieved this time. After a moment, he scratches at the back of his head and pulls out another cigarette from his pocket. And then I dash it out of his mouth because I don't want him smoking. I used to talk to God before I met you. Was he religious? You don't remember that coming up in conversation at all before. He's never seemed the type. What could this mean? Now, the first thing that comes to my mind is this could be a situation like in the game To Eat a God, where I'm pretty sure the world of the developer and the world in-game kind of interject a little bit, as I think the characters see the developer as some sort of creator. So perhaps the god that he's talking about is the developer, and now that this game has been released to the public, for example, he has met us, he does not talk to the developer anymore, and he's not happy about it because he would have rather stayed in the developer's head.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game!
Espoir, I don't think you really understand what I'm saying. His face smiles. No, distorts. Help!
If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
I believe that is all I can do at this moment. This is just a prototype of a demo, I believe. And it's really good already. I think I've only played this for like 9 minutes, and I'm already intrigued and hooked. And I hope I didn't completely spoil myself. I do love stories where the developer and the creations kind of interject a little bit. Hence why most of my characters canonically don't like me. But since this game has gotten a little bit more interest, hopefully the developer will continue it. And I will leave a link in the description to this game where you can follow the developer for any more development. But please be patient, because a great game is never rushed. Still find it funny that I had no idea what the title of this game was until I went through it and then looked at it and like, oh, that's what it means. The title is not actually GWTTMA. Well, we'll have to see what happens later on with Sloan, but until then, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.